Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm very excited to make this. This is going to be the first episode of our Los Angeles slash Anaheim Angels series. We will get into that soon. Yes, it is a live start. We are starting in the off season of 2020 and I am very excited to get it going. Okay, so just filling it out. Let's go. Angels cannot be fired. Where are they? Los Angeles. Yeah, there we go. So that's what we're going to do for now. I will see you back in a second. Okay, so we are finally back. It took a little bit longer than I expected it to, but we finally got everything set up. So, first, the obvious, I changed the name to the Anaheim Angels. It's always been dumb to me that they're the Los Angeles Angels. For a while, they were the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Their ballpark's name is Angel Stadium of Anaheim, so I finally just made the move to Anaheim. So, let's go to settings. So, I like to go by stars. That's all that really is here. I can't be fired. I do keep it owner goals on because they don't really affect anything. Yes, I had to add that there. This is important. Player development settings, player aging speed 1.25, 1.25, player development speed 0.75, 0.75. Okay. Player evaluation AI settings 40, 30, 20, 10. I said that too. I mean, this is all pretty much the same. Allow trading of injured players I put on. You can immediately trade recently drafted players. That happened with Trey Turner, I remember. So that actually does happen in real life. Not much, but it does happen. I changed the awards to Silver Slugger and Gold Glove. Do I have every team? Force all teams, yeah. Sometimes it's not. This is also something. So if you go in and you set to modern Major League defaults, that's what I do. And I did that for the default player origin, amateur, draft pool origin, international origin, and generate international free agents. I did that for all of them. Stats and AI did not really touch. I might have to touch eventually because in this game, after a while, especially pitching, does not do well. Okay, so I can do... Actually, let me show you leagues right now. So, hold on, let's let the screen be a little less money. So I added a few leagues in. Of course, there's all the default ones that I added in the Nippon League, Korea, of course, Korean Baseball League, or Nippon Japan, I believe. The KBO, Mexican League, Cuban League, I forget why I added in the Honkball League, and of course all the independent leagues like the of course, a known one is the Atlantic League. Don't they have teams like the Barnstormers? They used to have the River Sharks before they folded. Artie Moreno, of course, is our owner. If we look at the team, let's do that right now for this first video. So, of course, we have Dylan Bundy, okay? And we're about to end the regular season. He is the best pitcher on the team. He's very solid pitcher. His ratings are okay here. He's a 4-star guy, 4-star potential. And he just had a really solid year. I'm using a little custom stat view. I just created pitching stats. It's simple and it just gives good stats such as FIP. So you can see actually FIP'd better than he has in his entire career. Okay, after him, there is Shohei Ohtani, who pitched 1 and 2/3 inning this year. It's not looking great for Shohei. as a pitcher. Hopefully he can put it together after a really solid rookie year that saw him get injured. And that's been a running theme in his career. Andrew Heaney, he was a big Marlins prospect back around 10 years ago almost. It's crazy to think about that. He hasn't become the pitcher that he was expected to, but he's okay, back in the rotation guy. Then there's Patrick Sandoval, whose ratings actually aren't too bad. They're really not, and he's only 23, so I have a bit of hope for Sandoval. I think he needs some more time, though, so he did not have a great year. Then Julio Teheran, kind of the opposite of that. He's getting vastly overpaid. Luckily, it's a one-year deal, so we're just going to let him go at the end of the year. Very disappointing season. He's not the pitcher he used to be. I mean, this is back 6 years ago. He made his first All-Star game. So, we got No Ramirez, who has actually been quite solid. He's really not a great. He's fine. Pitcher. He seemed a little lucky this year, looking by his FIP. Ty Buttery, he's been average throughout his career. Hansel Robles, I believe he's actually declining. There was a time where he was a really good pitcher, last 2 years. For, of course, the LA Angels at the time. Then there's Keenan Middleton. Middleton, I actually think he's not that bad. I mean, he had a really solid 18 when he was out for a bit. And I think he's okay. He can serve as a okay backup AAA guy. Hobie Milner, Philly's a legend, was not good. He's not good. He's just, he has a good work ethic, but that's really it. Matt Andres, he can be a starter too. He started for years with Tampa Bay. He played with Arizona last year where they moved him to a full-time reliever. And he's fine in his role. Nothing special. Only making $1.3 million. Kyle Keller. He only pitched 2 games this year. He pitched well with Miami last year in 10 games. Cam Bedrosian, son of Steve Bedrosian, former Cy Young Award-winning pitcher for the Phillies. Cam's fine. Yeah, Cam's really solid pitcher. He's never been really awful. He's always been good. He's a solid player. And their closer is Jacob Barnes, who has had a very underwhelming year this season. Now hitting, this is where the team really is. Max Stassi, he's 29 now. Still a lot of team control left, I believe, right? Yeah, arbitration. 3 years. So, he had a really good year this year. He was very good, and I hope he can carry that in, maybe become a catcher for the next few years. And then behind him is Jose Brasino. Nothing really there. Jared Walsh, a really interesting player, first year. He was absolutely excellent this year. I look to build around him as the future first baseman. Speaking of first baseman, there's the machine Albert Pujols, who has been doing it forever. Let's see, when does this contract go to? So we only got 2 more years of this awful contract. This year, worst year of his career. He's just, he's a great player, Hall of Famer, top 5 first baseman ever. It's not right now. David Fletcher, he's good at his role. He can play all around the field, great in the infield. He's great. He's great for what he does. He's not special, but he's great for what he does. Anthony Rendon, of course, big signing. He hasn't been as good as he was last season, but he did around I guess he did technically better than 2018. Solid first year. Hope that he can improve on it, as we have him for a long time, and that money's only going to be getting more and more. Luckily, we are a big market team. Then there's the incredible defenseman Andrelton Simmons, 31 years old. When's his contract? His contract might be up. It is up, so that's going to be a interesting decision here, as his offensive production has gone up from last year. His home run production has gone down. I don't think he's going to be able to maintain that sort of offense, though. Next is Justin Upton, who's here just to hit some dingers, I guess. He's been a disappointing signing since he's gotten here. I mean, he hasn't done well since 17, which is when they brought him in from Detroit. Yeah, no, he's another there wasn't really a point to bring him in. Mike Trout, of course, best player in baseball, in my opinion. We have him locked up for a while. Through 2028, he's incredible. He's the cornerstone of this franchise. He's going to stay the cornerstone of this franchise for as long as I can keep him. He's never leaving a Angels uniform. Shohei Ohtani, hitting, he's gotten worse every year, which is not something to be thrilled about. But I still believe we can definitely build around him as a hitter, as you can see his ratings. I mean, he's only 26. I'm not giving up on him. And of course, we already talked about Albert. Backups, Luis Rengifo. He's a backup. I mean, nothing really special about him. Taylor Ward and Elliot Soto. Backup center fielder is Michael Hermosillo. And then over here, interesting player. He hasn't really developed as was hoped. Franklin Barreto, who was a former top prospect, hasn't necessarily developed. And yeah, we're looking to develop him. Besides that, let's look at the top prospects in the organization, as we're going to have to do a lot of work off camera, putting all of this together, setting guys up, locking them in. Of course, there's Joe Adell. He's one of the top prospects in baseball. Hope to build around him. So actually, let's sort by potential. Mike Myers, I just noticed, is down here. Mayers, he was really good this year. Okay, so we got Jeremiah Jackson. He's 20 years old. He's a solid prospect. He's not necessarily great at anything, but he's not bad at anything. Then there's Jordan Adams, another guy for the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Great team name. Solid in left field. Not going to develop great power, great contact, but he will be able to get on base. Then, of course, we talked about Joe Adell. Jamie Beret, he hasn't developed as well as Anaheim has hoped. He actually had an okay year this year, but hasn't become the stud they were hoping. They drafted Reed Detmers this year. What round did they take him in? Hold on. So he was drafted 10th overall by him. Okay. And if we come down here, you can see Deshaun Knowles. Knowles was picked, was actually signed as an international free agent. He's English. I remember hearing about him. I don't know how well he's going to develop. You see that 25, those 30s, they don't really develop that great. So I don't know how he's going to be as a Burlington Bee. Then there's the former number 1 prospect in this organization, Jahmai Jones. He's really fizzled out. He used to be a top second base prospect, top center field prospect back in 2016. And yeah, since then he's fizzled out. I mean, you can see that year in Orem, he had a really solid year, and then he just never been the same. I guess 2017 in Hyatt, he was pretty good, but other than that, he's disappointed. So let's go over to personnel. Actually, you can see we have 5th highest budget in baseball. That's one of the reasons I did this. I like to do small market teams a lot, but I figured let's do a big market team. So, of course, we have Joe Madden, a amazing manager. We brought him back to the Angels. He's really a forward thinker, one of the first guys back in 2006 when guys like Lou Piniella, Ned Yost, those type of guys were still at the forefront of managing. He was one of the guys that said, no, sabermetric analytics, this is the way to do it. And, I mean, the results have shown that he was correct. We also have Mickey Callaway here as a pitching coach, and fun to think that Lou Morrison is the manager of the Salt Lake Bees, former Phillies top prospect, now 12 years ago, right? 2008. So, let me see. How long are we've been running here for a while. What else to look at? I'm just trying to find a few things to show you. Oh, here's another thing. We can look at the team stats. So runs scored, we were actually second. Okay, so but you can see we just fell off at pitching. So of course there's the need right there is pitching. So that's something to look at. Of course we have our final game of the year. Let's play this final game in this episode. It's a loss, as Griffin Canning is not assigned to any roster. So we have to handle that situation. Let's throw him on the 40-man, throw him on the 40-man, throw him on the 40-man. Okay, boom. Canning, can you go down to AAA? You can. Pena, AAA. And Anderson, AAA. So I'm going to be right back and set up a few things. I'll show you that, and then we're going to end it and do the off-season in the next video. Okay, so I just added a few guys. I don't know if I mentioned, I did mention Jordan Adam. Oh yeah, I'm back. Just a few guys to the prospect list. And I think that's where I'm going to end this first video. So next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the off season. We're going to go up to the regular season. We're going to do the preseason too. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully as soon as possible. I can't give you a upload schedule yet. Of course, I have school and other things, but I'm going to try to get one. Actually, hold on. We have a few vacancies. Let's see, Cameron Castro. Yeah, he looks like he'll work. And hitting coach. Oh, come on. Does anyone have great relations? Josh L. Bell? No. He used to be good for picking guys up. Let's just grab him for 1 year. Okay. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you.